Hello and welcome back. My name is Stacey Couch and my website is wildgratitude.com. I have not made a video for a little while because I've been working out the timing in between the various winter storm fronts that are coming through. But as it happens here in the Rocky Mountains, we have these beautiful bluebird days happen in between. So I'm really glad to be able to share the beauty of this winter day with you and to talk with you about a very specific topic called specialties in shamanism. I have come across a number of times people really expecting that if they know one shamanic practitioner or have one shamanic healing, that they then understand what the field of shamanism entails. But the field of shamanism really is nearly as big as the field of Western medicine. There are a myriad of specialties within shamanism. Any well-rounded education in shamanic practice is going to cover every one of those specialties and train the practitioner on how to work with every single one of these specialties so that the person in training gets an opportunity to understand everything involved and also to see where their gifts and talents lie. So they go through, have a strong, well-rounded education, and then shamanic practitioners come out of their schooling, ideally, with a specialty or specialties in mind that they are really drawn towards and a way that they know that they can really help and be of service. So within that, I'm going to talk about three particular overarching umbrellas within the field of shamanism, and then I'll talk about specific methods or modalities within those three. The first one is the one that's most commonly known. Everybody expects that shamanism is about healing. Yes, that is the case. So that's the first one. The second one is one that often gets lumped in with healing, and that one is clearing. It's actually a separate piece of shamanism apart from healing, and it has its own set of modalities within it that I'll talk about here shortly. And then the third one is really the role of a religious leader in the community. That's what a shamanic practitioner does. They serve very similar to what a priest would in a church. And I'll talk about what that looks like as well. So there's those three: healing, clearing, and then a religious leader. So let's start first with healing. This is the one that we all know about, and the most common healing technique within shamanism is soul retrieval. It's the retrieval of lost parts of your soul that are lost due to some sort of trauma and bringing back of gifts that are talents that you've lost touch with. That's the one that I practice most often and the one that's very commonly known within the field of shamanism. Another one that's very commonly known, so much so that it's often overlooked, is power animal or spirit animal retrieval. So when the shamanic practitioner goes and brings back one or more guardian animal spirits for the client to help them heal. Another mode of healing within shamanism is your very generally, I'm just going to call it energetic healing. It's healing with light, it's healing with sound, it's healing with voice, it's healing with grace or light, or however the shamanic practitioner views it. That comes from a divine source. So it is seen in our day and age as energy healing, but it's actually spiritual healing because we're using spiritual energy, channeling it through, and then offering it to the client for healing. There's also some very specific types of healing, and I could go on about those for a really long time, but some examples would be retrieval of a higher self. So we all have a higher self, someone that we're looking to, the next phase of who we're looking to step into, whom we're looking to step into. So the shamanic practitioner can go and retrieve someone's higher self and bring that back so they can move into the next phase of their life. That is very much a healing. There's also genetic line healings. So if there's a history in your genetic line of mental illness or certain other types of illness or certain types of wounding patterns that happen over and over again, those genetic line journey healings can also be a part. So you see that there's a lot of really particular ones, and then I also highlighted the common ones. But these are all geared towards helping the person gain power, regain their power, regain their confidence, self-esteem, heal old wounds, move ahead in their life with more confidence. So now let's look at the second one, clearing. So clearing is a huge piece of shamanism that a lot of people, like I said, lump with healing, but it is so distinct that it really stands on its own. And very, very generally, a lot of people know that shamans do house clearings and land clearings. So if you have a haunted house, or if you just feel like there's negative energy in the land that's preventing you from being able to build on it, or every time you go and do repairs, things keep breaking, oftentimes people will call in a shamanic practitioner to help clear out any incongruent energy that's holding up the process or proving an obstacle, and help people be able to move forward. So that's one that shamans are very commonly known for. There is also what's called extraction. So I think people might know about this, but maybe not by that name. But extraction is where the shamanic practitioner comes in and removes negative inundations from people's bodies. And negative inundations are, simply put, nasty curses or thoughts or bad feelings that are sent at the client by others. So every time we say something bad about someone, we're, in the shamanic perspective, sending them a negative inundation. So the shamanic practitioner, for the ones that stick and don't go away, the shamanic practitioner can come in and help clear those negative thoughts or those curses or those nasty feelings projected at someone. The practitioner can help clear those away. So it's really similar to land or house blessing, but it's on a person instead. And then more intensely, shamans are also there is specialties within shamanism of shamans who are very intense with depossession and exorcism. So actually removing evil spirits from a land, a house, a person, and helping bring in grace or divine light in place of whatever is causing harm. And then there's also, a lot of people know about this one too, and they don't always know it as a shamanic method, but it is definitely a specialty within shamanism, and that's cord cutting. So there's this idea that we have an energetic exchange with someone who we're in relationship with, and when that relationship ends, a lot of people like to go through the ceremony of breaking those ties to the other person, those energetic ties, with a ceremony. And that's a type of clearing. You're clearing that other person's energy out of your field. You're gathering your energy back up and clearing the road ahead so you can move forward outside of that relationship. So healing, clearing, those are the first two. And then we have the role of the religious leader, the priest, such as, looks like a priest or a minister would. And within that falls the part of shamanism that involves ceremony. The shamanic practitioner, all of us are trained in how to do ceremony, the ones that have gone through a full training or education as a shamanic practitioner. And those ceremonies can range from wedding ceremonies to land blessings or house blessing ceremonies. There can also be baptisms. There can also be ceremonies where two people decide to go separate ways. I've done that as well, where two people have been in a relationship and they would like to part mindfully and have a ceremony honoring what was between them so that they can move forward individually in a beautiful way. And then the shamanic practitioner is also trained in spiritual direction. And that's being able to coach people through spiritual experiences, spiritual questionings, anything that has to do with the interior life and relationship with the divine. The shamanic practitioner, that's another specialty that you can find where the shamanic practitioner is there to help walk people along the spiritual path. And then the last example of how the shamanic practitioner can serve as a religious leader is mediation with the spirits. So In times past, the shamanic practitioner would travel to herds of animals that the tribe was going to hunt and would communicate with them and mediate how the hunt would go. If they were moving to a new patch of land, they would journey to the spirit of the land and mediate and converse with that spirit and say, okay, what can we do to honor you? What would you like? Here's what we need from you, so on and so forth. So there was this mediation with the spirit world as well. That falls under, and still is, that falls under shamanic practice. So as you can see, these are just the highlights. These are just the main ones, the most popularized ones that I'm bringing up today. But just it's enough that you get a chance to see how varied the field of shamanism is. So if you go and see one person and then go see someone else, this explains very well why you're going to have a different experience each time. And I think it's just worth considering. What are you looking to have help with? And what is the person that you're approaching to do this work for you? What is their specialty and how do they approach it? For me, my specialty is very obviously, if you've been to my website, soul retrieval. It's a big highlight for me. And if you've been to my YouTube channel, I have a number of videos about soul retrieval. It's just, honestly, if someone wants me to go on a journey and not do a soul retrieval for them, I have to turn soul parts away. They just show up when I go and do shamanic work. It's just what I'm here to do, and it's just what comes through very easily in the work that I do. And I also love it. I enjoy it. I really resonate with it. It makes a lot of sense to me. And I see benefits over and over that people experience from the soul retrieval work. Obviously, spirit animal retrieval, huge part of what I do and very much underscored because it just happens no matter what I'm doing. I don't offer it as a separate service. No matter what shamanic journey or healing work I'm doing for someone, spirit animals are always coming. I can't turn them away. And so that I don't even offer separately. It just comes with the package if you're having a shamanic healing with me. Other services that I offer, a number of them that fall under healing practices, kind of what appears, but the energetic healing is definitely a piece of it. And then in terms of the clearing section, what I am drawn to and what I work within, the land and house clearings are a really big piece for me. I work in concert with the spirit of the land, the animals that are associated with the land to help clear the land or house, and very much enjoy that work. I do occasional extraction work for people. I do not go into depossession or exorcism because those are very intense fields that I feel someone has to focus on as their sole specialty to be able to do it really well and bring a lot of power to the work. And it's not something that speaks to me or has drawn me to it. But I do have fellow practitioners that do the work and do it very well. So it's, like I said, all about specialties. And then the role of the religious leader, the ceremony, I love conducting ceremonies. So I do wedding ceremonies and house blessings and land blessings. And I also do spiritual direction, which you'll know if you've gone to my website. So there are some specialties definitely that I am drawn to more than others. And it's worth, like I said, checking in with whoever you're looking to work with, what their specialty is. So I want to thank you for joining me for this video today, and I'm going to ask you to give it a thumbs up if you like what you've seen, and always please place comments below and I'll be sure to respond. All right, thanks so much and have a wonderful day.